up, everybody? Master Dark Boy Gaming. I am Dark Boy. Welcome to the channel. This is episode 13, Disc Golf Valley. Today we're going to be looking at Cajo Park. So on this first throw here, forehand, in my opinion, is a better way to go. It just depends on the disc and the angle you throw. But you can go backhand. I've seen it work. It's really just a preference point. If you go forehand, you got the hazards to worry about. If you go backhand, you got OB to worry about. But just as long as you get it anywhere near the basket, you're going to have a decent look at an approach for putt. Hole 2 here, you're going to see that this one pops up a lot in daily challenge and in tournaments. There are many ways you can throw this hole. There are rollers, skipper lines. You can do many different things. You can cheese over this hill here. It just depends on what your preference is and how you like to run it. In my main bag, I'll run a bomber disc, and I'll throw it with a forehand. And I'll give it a specific type of angle depending on the disc, and not every time, but it will pop over that hill and give me a nice look at a 2 if I don't go OB. It's a long 2, but I've gotten close before too with it. It can happen. But if you go the regular line like you saw me do here, I did go over OB to kind of get some distance without having to go all the way around. But this is an easy one to birdie, eagle if you do it the correct way. Next here, I find that just throwing a 10 with the correct angle, it'll put you right in between the two hazards, and it shouldn't be a problem. I've done it 1,000 times. However, I have gone in the hazard many times, and like right there. And it is what it is. You just kind of got to make sure that if you do go in the hazard, you got a good shot. That way you're not, suffering the bogue. So easy birdie. Easy recovery from the hazard, no problem. On this one, I like to throw a roller, a Ballista Pro roller in my main bag, forehand, and it'll roll over by the wall and give me a nice, easy look for that second shot. Now, that's not a choice here for me in this bag, so I figure I'm just going to go far with it. I know I'm not going to be able to make it to the green from here, so the best choice I have here is to just get closer to the wall up the fairway here. And as long as I do that throw right, then I should have a look. But this hole is by no chance a gimme. It can be very frustrating. It's easy to overthrow, it's easy to underthrow. And you can sit here just throwing back and forth sometimes if you're not paying attention to what you're doing. So you can go forehand, backhand, or straight down the middle, depending on the disc selection and the throw. I like to use a water skipper and just try to throw right down the middle. And usually I don't need the water skip attribute, but it makes me feel better. And as long as you clear the water, you don't want to go too far like this because these bushes can stop your disc from going in, just like that. Yeah, but if you do throw, just make sure that you're giving yourself a nice clean look for the putt. But it's not the hardest hole. So here, all you really want to do, depending on what you have, if you have a bomber, it's very easy to overthrow and go OB to the left. If you don't have a bomber, just keep the shot lower. Make sure that you're using your S lines and your fades and your turns and whatnot correctly. Get out there, and you'll see that it's not a difficult hole. You can even, if you want, let's say you have a musket water skip like I do, you could aim straight off the tee to the right and skip off the water and get a nice clean approach to the tee. So it's an option for you. Just getting out there, doing the field work, and discovering your lines. That's the way to go. So on this hole, it's very easy to go OB to the left. With the wind pushing from right to left, it can also be easy to push you over. You saw right there, clipped the tree, bounced right over into OB. If you throw this throw right, though, you should be able to clear yourself right out into the middle of the fairway so that you can get a good, long, clean shot for 2 for the approach. There is a hazard over here up front. Very easy to get stuck in there. There's also another hazard directly in front of the tee basket. So you also want, in my opinion, you want to fade to the right side of the basket over here, because if you go to the left, it's easier to find that the putt is harder because of that tree. And don't be afraid to use that hazard right there to buffer your shot. It's risky because you don't want to end up in the hazard, but you can use it to like stop your shot. So if you throw like a hard disc into the back edge that's close to the basket, you can hit it and it'll just kind of like almost like deaden your shot. So this one's very easy to overthrow as well. On this one, I recommend just picking a compass, fuse, anything that's a 5-speed, getting your angle just right for that specific disc, because it's easy to mess up like you're going to see here. But if you do pick the right disc and throw it just right, you won't overthrow it. In my experience, anytime I've thrown anything more than a 5-speed, it's just had too much gas and flown right out into OB. Once you're down here, you just want to have a nice clean putt. This is also another hole where you're going to want to practice from like the outside edge of the green. It's not a drop zone, but when you're over there on the outside edge of the green, you're going to find yourself over there a lot to want to save from. There's a lot of ways to approach this shot. All I can say for you is make the Mando. It's easy to miss it. It's easy to hit the archway. As long as you're through and you have you've been practicing your putting, you should be okay. The wind can, as you saw there, pick you up real high, drop you real low. It's a raised basket, so you're already trying to compensate for the change. Take your time here. Most likely, you're not going to need to throw as hard as you think on that putt. All right, everybody, that was Cajo Park. I'd like to thank you for your time. Please like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell if you enjoyed the content. This is Master Dark Boy Gaming. I am Dark Boy. And hopefully we'll see you in the future.